Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to a new week. Welcome to a new month, and welcome to this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. This is your girl, Abigail Mensah-Bonsu, creator and founder of the Moon Goddess Academy and the Moon Goddess Circles, and the host of the Sovereign Divinity Podcast. Welcome. Shall we begin? So this week's energy, when I tune into this week's energy, it's really about, there's like a burst of life. That's like the best way to explain what I am seeing and sensing from this week's energy. It's literally a bursting of life, an influx of life coming in to support us. It's almost like we are waking up from our long slumber, winter slumber, right? And we're just waking up and we're stretching and we're opening up and we're starting to see, what is next in this new season, in this new cycle? And last week I talked about, I think it was like the full moon. Yeah, the full moon. And then we also had, there was another energy, Aries, right? The Aries season started. So we started a new cycle. So we had the full moon of releasing, and then, Aries came in with the fire. We're still in Aries season, so we're still feeling that energy. Aries energy is about leadership, initiation. It's about, independence. It's about moving forward with confidence, right? It's really the element of fire. Fire is also expansive, right? Fire is very expansive. So if you find yourself feeling all these, this energy of, okay, I kind of feel like the veil is parting. I feel like it's time to go. That's all part of the energy that we have stepped into. Again, this week's energy is like a bursting forth of life. Like, it looks like the big bang to me. Like when I see the imagery, just that big bang, and then life begins. It's a new beginning, right? It's so fascinating, just absolutely fascinating, because in this new beginning, it's like rooting from the work that you've done previously. So were you able to use the winter to really slow down and contemplate and release and set intentions and look at where your life has been and where you would like your life to go, and be present with your life right now? Did you use the winter to nourish yourself? Or were you just still going, right? Because that's going to catch up. And if you have been going, and we just stepped into Aries season, you're going to get burnt out really quickly, right? Because this is the time that we're supposed to really feel that energy, that fire, to wake up and to begin to move, with that confidence, with fierceness, with independence. I want to say with conviction. But all of that energy comes from the work that you've done in the winter. That is what is going to give you the confidence. When the veil parts, if you've done the work, you're like, okay, these are the seeds that, I said I wanted to plant, and these are the action steps that I'm going to take. And then you begin to take the steps. But if you didn't do the work in the winter, right, then now, instead of moving forward, you're going to be using this time to actually get specific and get clear on what direction. Or the other part is that you're just going to be swept up by the elements, right? Well, the element of fire. If you look at the element of fire, right, fire will burn if you mess with it, right? Fire is destructive, and it's also, what am I looking for? Rebuilding. It always reminds me of the phoenix in its rebirth. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Rebirth, right? There's an aspect of death and rebirth when it comes to the element of fire. It's very powerful. Now, not to say that the other elements are not powerful. I'm focused on fire because that's kind of like the element that is supporting us currently. As we move through the zodiac wheel, we're going to step into all the different elements, because everything is in balance, right? But right now, we need that fire from beloved Aries to really get us moving through this year, right? So, from January, I think, at the beginning of the month, not the beginning of the month, beginning of the year, I was talking about, just because it's the new year doesn't mean that it's time to go. We're still in winter. Take your time, nourish yourself, contemplate, like do the stuff that you're supposed to be doing in the winter time, right? Because when this time comes, which is, it's like usually March and then moving forward, that's when you really get that green light to move forward, right? So yeah, there's that two ways. If you did the work, congratulations, you're going to be moving forward, and you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel secure, you're going to have that beat to your step, because you know where you're going, you know what action steps you need to take. You have vision, right? You have vision, and you're moving forward to it. If you didn't do the work, it's okay. You're still going to have time to do that, because what will happen is that you will feel swept up by the elements, right? And you will want to kind of just be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's take a step back. Let's breathe. What do I need to do to find my balance in this powerful element, in this time that we're in? What do I need to do to find my balance? What do I need to do to find my bearings in this powerful transformative times that we're in? It's always good to come back and just recalibrate. What do I need to do to find my bearings, to come back to center? What do I need to focus on at this time? All of that will bring you back to center so that you can find your clarity before you begin to take the steps. Remember, the action steps are not just any random steps that you take. They're inspired, divinely soul-inspired, higher self-inspired action steps. The only way for you to receive the steps is for you to be centered in your heart. It's for you to find your bearings, your soul bearings. It's for you to be aligned with the flow of the energy. So if you've been following this, if you've been watching this goddess forecast, right? You are doing that. You're flowing with the energies that play with us all the time. And when I say play, because it is play, right? It's intense, but it's a dance. There we go. It is a dance. We're always dancing with these cosmic energies and nature energies and divine energies that come in to support us. It is a dance. So if you've been watching this, good job. You're already doing the dance, and you're flowing through. And we do this weekly, right? So that each week you can find your balance at the beginning of the week that will, help you stay on track the rest of the week. So let me take a sip of water. If you're an Aries, you're definitely going to feel this element very strongly, because we are in your season. You're going to be feeling that, okay, it's time to go, right? You're going to be feeling, not that you don't always feel that way, but around this time it's like amplified, right? One thing that I'm in the process of creating is birthday magic, where we really go into details when we step into your power months, what that means, what to look for, how to cultivate it. So look out for it. I'm going to be, we'll see. I'm still working on it, putting the finishing touches on it. It's going to be an ebook. So look out for it. Keep your eye out for it. That's going to be something that's going to help you also navigate the potent energies that are constantly here dancing with you. So as always, let's go ahead and get centered. Just taking some deep breaths in. You can place your hand on your heart, or you can place one hand on your womb, one hand on your heart, and just breathe. Be centered in your body, be awake in your body. No escape in the body here. Each breath you take, imagine that you're taking in a deep breath in of light, and infusing each cell within your body with this cosmic light. And breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe in that light. Do you feel that? It's like an influx of starlight just falling on us, raining on us, and each of our cells just activating, igniting. This time, go ahead and call in your higher self and your Holy Spirit self to come into your heart now, activating the fires of your heart. And imagine the light and love from the Divine Father coming down through your channel, all the way down. And as it goes through your power center, it blesses and cleanses all your power centers. Let it go all the way down. When it reaches your heart, to see it, it looks like there's a cup. There's a chalice, a beautiful cup, and it just fills that cup up until it overflows. And that overflow stretches out or expands into every single part of your being, balancing, clearing, healing, rejuvenating you on all levels. Allow this light to continue down your legs, out through your feet, going down your channel all the way into the earth. And see it as your roots extending and rounding into the earth. And in the center of the earth, imagine the heart of the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother's heart matrix. Go ahead and anchor into that heart matrix. Root to root. I always see this as this beautiful, it looks like a web, a web of light that I just plug right into. And when I do that, I can feel everything. You know, everything is palpable energetically, right? It's not the kind of overwhelming feeling, you know, kind of like the, oh my gosh, I feel everything. No. This is like a balanced, rooted, grounded, centered, right? Like you're in tune with the hum of the earth. There you go. So from here, begin to receive the love and the light from the Divine Mother coming up through your roots. Breathe it in, up, bring it up through your legs, through your thighs. Let it fill every cell. On the way up, let it go through all the energy centers, balancing, nurturing, clearing, and mixing in with the divine heavenly light that's already there as well. And when it reaches your heart, it pours into that chalice where it mixes with the Father's love and light. And from there, it begins to expand into this beautiful golden bubble of light around you. And stay in the heart and see those two lights, or it might look like fire, dancing with each other within your heart. Your heart fully ablaze, ignited. And breathe into your heart as I now call all of your support team to come and join you this week, to support you through this week, to guide you this week. Beautiful. Beautiful. And from this space, from this centeredness within your heart, go ahead and ask the questions. Where do I need to focus my energy? Where do I need to focus my energy this week? 1, 2, or 3. Once you have received your number or numbers, go ahead and open your eyes, still centered within your heart, and open and ready to receive your message for the week. So this week, I am using the Moonchild Tarot deck. Is one of my favorite tarots ever. And so that's what I was guided to use. So we'll see what messages come through. So shall we begin? Let's go ahead and begin. If you were drawn to card number 1, all right. So if you're drawn to card number 1, your card is the 8 of Cups. So we're talking about elements, right? And we're talking about we're in the fire. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so here's the thing. When these cards were pulled, there was an element missing. Of course, I pulled 3 cards, right? So I was curious as to what elements would show up. And so the elements that came up are water, earth, and air. So we're missing fire. And now I realize how it's because we're already in the fire season, in the Aries season, right? The season of fire. And so that's already balanced, right? So now you need to bring in the other elements so that we're completely balanced on all levels, right? All 4 elements dancing. And of course, with the 5th element, which is spirit, right? Isn't that fabulous? Okay, so if you're drawn to card number 1, your card is the 8 of Cups. Look at how gorgeous this card is. And this card signifies moving on, growth, healing, sacrifice, and retreat. So let's talk a little bit about the water, the element of water. So for you, if you're drawn to this card, this week it's a week of emotions for you. So this release that is talking about is really talking about the emotional release, right? The work that you have to do will be in the emotional realm, will be in the affairs of the heart, the affairs of how you're feeling. What are your feelings in alignment with what you truly want to feel? What needs to go, what is ready to be released. So let's begin with this message. Here's a little bit about this card, the archetype of this card. So on a journey of her own, a seeker explores a new mysterious world. As she comes across a flowing river, she knows that it is time to let go of the burdens of her past, the attachments of her comfort, the songs that keep on playing. The 8 cups beneath her represents the energies and forces she is now ready to release and transmute into water. So the 8 cups beneath her represents the energies and forces she is now ready to release and transmute into water. Look how beautiful this card is. So you have the element of the moon there, you have earth, you have water. You see the woman standing on the rocks over there, right? And you have the star. It looks like a shooting star right there. It's a beautiful, beautiful card. So here's your message. Life is an ongoing journey filled with continuous peaks and valleys. This can be a blissful adventure for those of us who are ready to dive in. For others, momentum and change can be a difficult thing to grasp when comfort and stability have built a safety net around us. There may be times when we reach challenging crossroads along the way, and with reluctance, we must leave something behind in order to move on. This can be gut-wrenching as our emotions and memories may want to hold on, but shedding the burdens of our past often initiates deep evolution. We may feel free to seek unmarked roads and new foundations, places within and around us that we never knew existed. This is the new chapter waiting to be written. Where would you like to go from here? How can you envision this new chapter of your life? And are you ready to let go of the unhealthy attachments? And here's your mantra for this week. I am ready to write this next chapter. I visualize the destination. I am ready to write this next chapter. I visualize the destination. So on the other side, if you are drawn to card number 1, do you need to process or shed any unresolved issues or attachments? If you are having difficulty making a decision, visualize the destination. What do you need to change in order to move forward with clarity and peace? What do you need to change in order for you to move forward with clarity and peace? It may be helpful to face your fears and give yourself the benefit of the doubt with love. A time of transformation. I'm going to repeat the mantra again. I am ready to write the next chapter. I am ready to write this next chapter. And I visualize the destination. I visualize the destination. Card number 1. So if you were drawn to card number 3, card number 2. It's so funny. Card number 3. Already like skipping one. If you're drawn to card number 2, your card is the 6 of Pentacles. So this week for you, you are working in the realm of earth because Pentacles represent earth. But just take a minute and just take in the imagery of this card here. You see the mystic sitting there meditating in this beautiful temple. You see the galaxies, the universe behind her. And you also see the Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles around her. So this card is about generosity, advancements, opportunities, and growth. And Mystic sits in meditation within the space of a sacred temple. Around her floats 6 golden pentacles, keys of the abundance she has nurtured and achieved over the years. She knows that she has worked hard to get to this point and shares her wisdom and blessings with those around her freely, knowing that life is cyclical and faith is ever-changing. Here's the message. The 6 of Pentacles illuminates a sacred balance that arises when our heart is aligned with compassion and generosity. This points to harmonious blessings that ensue from being of service to others. Snappy time for the little one. Okay. All right. But can also indicate states of lack when you may need some kind of support as well. The soul of this card prompts you to think about how you give in relation to how much you receive. When ego and motives are excluded from reason, you recognize the value of your relationships and the mutual benefit of kindness and love. You don't take your bliss for granted. You have risen to the occasion and can now look back on the choices you made that have led to your higher state of awareness. How will you move up from here? Opportunities, gifts, or rewards may be closer than you think. An imbalance of energies. You might also experience an imbalance of energies this week. If you are being generous with others in some way, be careful that you are not being taken advantage of. This card may also indicate a need to maintain a sense of selfishness in your generosity. Are there hidden motives behind your actions, or are you working from a place of love? If this card pertains to relationships, it could be that there is an imbalance of energy between 2 people. Is someone given more than the other? Here are some questions to contemplate through this week or journal on. Am I ready to share as much as I am ready to receive? This is powerful. Am I ready to share as much as I am ready to receive? And how can I open my heart and show gratitude? How can I open my heart and show gratitude? And here's your mantra for this week to support you through this week. I rest within the cycles of karma. I value the love that others share with me. I rest within the cycles of karma. I value the love that others share with me. 6 of Pentacles. So let's move on to card number 3. If you are drawn to card number 3, you are working in the realm of the mind this week. So card number 3 is the King of Swords. This card represents reason, logic, authority, analysis, honor, and strength. The King of Swords lives by a code of truth and honesty within the space of his domain. Here, his forest is encoded with a dynamic air element. Flowing leaves wisp around his armor, symbolizing the active change of this transitional suit. His iron swords mark a stance of authority and power. So if you're drawn to card number 3, here's your message. The King of Swords is an intelligent, decisive individual who approaches life with sensible logic. Often seen as a person of authority, they know exactly how to get things done and exclude emotional expression and spontaneity from their lifestyle. Since they tend to be less emotional, their way of connecting with people they love may come from a place of rational thinking rather than sweet sentimentality. This type may seem harsh or insensitive, even though they rarely come from a place of negativity. The King of Swords is also very inventive and may also be responsible for many of the scientific breakthroughs and engineering developments of our time. This card encourages us to think with our head as opposed to with our hearts, and being strategic and smart in our choices and planning. The manipulation of authority, intelligence, or power. It could reflect someone who is egotistical, cruel, and selfish, who takes things personally and expects the same from others. In another light, this card can indicate the need to be more firm, direct, and decisive in personal convictions, and need for more organization and clarity to forge ahead successfully. So if you're drawn to card number 3, here are the questions to contemplate on or journal on. How can I align with my own logic and intelligence? How am I standing strong within my own principles? And then here is your mantra for this week. I remain impartial and I am therefore open. I remain impartial and am therefore open. I collect information and use it as power. I collect information and use it as power. So if you're drawn to card number 3, you're probably someone who is ruled by your emotions. Now, when we're really talking about emotions, our thoughts, or our minds, our logic, individually, they cannot do their highest best for us. But when they work together and sync up, this is where the magic happens. So if you're drawn to card number 3, it's about, have you been more emotional than bringing your logic in? Because what you're being asked to do is bring in the element of air to balance, to bring your elements in balance, right? To bring the wisdom of the mind, of the logic, to balance the wisdom of the heart. Being emotional, too emotional, taking everything personally, it doesn't serve anyone. So there has to be a balance between the mind and the heart. There has to be. And I feel like if you're drawn to card number 3, this is definitely highlighted for you this week. And since it's the King of Swords, let's see, do we have any other royals? Oh, no, that's the only king that popped up this week. It's a mastery, right? It's definitely a mastery for you this week, and bringing balance to the heart. There's like other things coming in, but I think that's like the main gist of it. So the light language for this week is really going to focus on the balance of the elements. So we already have the fire from Aries season, right? Which is amplifying and balancing our fire elemental self. And then we have the other elements. We have swords, which represents air. We have pentacles, which represents earth. And we have cups, which represents water. So all elements are represented beautifully here and in balance. So this light language is going to focus, what I'm getting is going to focus more on balancing your elemental selves. So one thing I want to say, how does the elements represent in your body? So basically from your, let's see, from your neck up is the element of fire, right? Represents the element of fire. From your waist to your shoulder is the element of air. From your waist to your knees, the element of water. And from your knee down to your feet is the element of earth. So from your feet up, we have earth, water, air, and fire. Earth, water, air, and fire. So if you to even just bring yourself into balance, just envisioning where these elements are on your body and repeating the elements. You can use the affirmation, I am balanced in earth, water, air, and fire. And then I like to also reverse it so that I'm bringing the fire into my earth. So I'll say fire, air, water, earth. Earth, water, air, fire, air, water, earth. And that way I'm just allowing all of that to flow together and bring balance to my body, right? Because, I've been teaching about really embodying our spiritual wisdom, our spiritual essence, bringing it into this physical reality. So, the elements are physical. We're supposed to experience it on the physical. And, just the same as nature, we can see it in nature, is also reflected within us. So it's a very powerful way of balancing your own inner elements by just knowing where they are in your body, which is really cool because if you have pain somewhere in your body, you can see, is it in the area of the element of water? Is it like your knee? Is it your lower back, which is all water, right? Is it your shoulder? That's the element of air. Are you thinking too much? You think it's here, right? Your shoulders are tight, your neck is stiff. You're thinking too much, right? And well, not the neck part, but more like shoulders to the waist, right? Anything there, what is not feeling good? What is tight? What is, what is going on there? That's the elements of air. And then neck up, is your neck stiff? Do you have headaches? Do you have tightness, on your scalp? Like that's all the element of fire. Right. So when you can even notice where the imbalance is, how your body is feeling, and then see what element is there and bring it into balance. This is something when I used to do in-person healing work, when I used to see clients in person. This is something every single client, it was like a prerequisite. I will balance the elements because it's that simple, then it's so powerful in just shifting everything for them. Right? And you can do this for yourself. I still do this in some way, shape, or form when I'm doing online sessions, virtual sessions. Again, it's so powerful. Like we don't realize that the simplest rituals are the most powerful. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be long and, just strung out. The simplest form of rituals are usually the most potent and powerful. And this right here connects you right into your body, and you can just balance your elements right there. So let's bring in the light language transmission to balance your elements. So like always, make sure you drop into your heart, because that's where you're going to receive the message. That's where you're going to receive the visions. That's where you're going to be receiving what you need to receive from this light transmission. Okay, are you ready? Taking a deep breath in and out. Sa suru sutiyari atio wa Yara no soro tu rasa tiano no. Yara surudua kia yada dudua kia. Ananasa de dia turu suara kia dia. Yara no sira suruaki di. Roa satiana nana sara katira katiara no. Iris su. Sira kakia tiara nana kia. Iera suru wakiti di. Noa satia turu wakia tia. Saya dua. Yarua sira kia tia dua. Yarna saria kia tira kwa kia tia. Nya. Watiara saruanyana sa iarwa kiarwa yara sua yara sinina katiara kwa tia uahatia eyana na yara suru kuku sira nuasa atiara suruka kiki ruasaturu. Cara sedira ketika katua. Yana sara kira suruh di warakia. Yara sesira kiriar duruatira kiki warina satira kidikara katuara kiata yara suruakia yara sununo kia suruakia kia Sierra tiara ki rowana saria waria di no sa tiara kwa kia duru sitia tatiara sududua kia wakia durua nyosua eyara kia tia durua sitia Aries sua kikiwa akiara suru kitia atira suru akikia aku Wadiara suru kia tiara kwakia atia su kiara su. Taking a deep breath in here and out. It is done. It is done. It is done. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in this week's Goddess Energy Forecast. I would love to hear from you about how this week's message resonated with you? What stood out for you? What are you being called to pay attention to this week? And I invite you to set an intention. What would you like to experience this week? What would you like to call into your life this week? What kind of support do you want this week? Set an intention, call it in. So this month in April, quick announcement, I'm going to be doing a mini series about discovering the magic of your life archetypes, so soul life archetypes. So we're going to be breaking it down. So if you're not already in my Moon Goddess Sacred Sanctum Facebook group, make sure you go ahead and join. I'm going to be doing the mini series in there. It's going to be incredible. The archetypes are such powerful aspects of ourselves. A lot of people are familiar with the archetypes through, nowadays there's so many quizzes, like take this quiz to discover your goddess archetype, to discover your business archetype, to discover your branding archetype. I mean, there's so many ways that the archetype have been used, but what I'm about to teach you is really about your main archetype. This is you, who you are on all levels. And we all come in with 12 archetypes, and these archetypes are just 12 aspects of yourself. I should say 12 powerful aspects of yourself. And they cover every area of our lives, from the things that challenges us every day to what we're here to do, our soul purpose, to our higher self, who we are as our divine highest expression. Like, it covers all of that. It covers the inner child. It covers the 4 universal archetypes that every single human being on this planet shares with each other. I mean, this is powerful information I'm about to imbue with you guys, to share with you guys. And I'm so excited about it. And I'm going to just break it down into little bite size. And of course, at the end of it, you will receive an invitation to take the full journey with me, so that you can also discover your own 12 soul life archetypes. So I'm really excited to bring that wisdom this month. And yeah, let me know how this resonates with you. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, from my heart, from the deepest parts of my heart to yours. Until next time, bye.